Mike's morale will be improved. We did the study twice, and it's been proven, and both studies have been peer-reviewed. I chose the peers, by the way. They're my peers. Mike's Music Method! Welcome, everybody. Today, we are doing a gorgeous song by the tallest man on earth called Love Is All. This song was inspired by Caustic because he hangs out on the MMM Discord. He's on the Discord. You should join the Discord, the Mike's Music Method Discord. It's free to join, and we help each other with our playing. We post videos, give each other tips, talk about what songs to do next. Be an insider, join the club. Now, Caustic told me to do this song. First time I put it on, I just went, man, I've heard this guy before. I know him, and his voice is unbearable. And then, by the end of the song, I was like, man, it does have an emotional punch. And before I knew it, I had the song on repeat. And I was like, I'm going to do this song for Caustic because it is quite beautiful. He said him and his girlfriend, fiance, wife, I'm not sure, are obsessed. And I understand why. So, tallest man on earth, I would love to interview you and talk finger picking. I know I just read it on your voice, but I didn't really mean to. Here, this will make you feel better. I also find most Bob Dylan singing incredibly grating. So if you're in Bob Dylan's company, that's okay. But this is awesome picking. Capo, in the studio version, it's on the 7th fret. A whole bunch of live versions, he's doing it on 6. I'm doing it on 6 just because it's lower. If I were to sing it, I'd probably do it lower, even. I haven't sung the intro one yet, so we'll see what I end up doing after I rehearse it a little bit. But guys, this song is beautiful. The emotional, rhetorical impact of the song is awesome. It is not at all a beginner piece, so check out the Travis Picking playlist. You do not want to start here. For you new budding guitarists who just found the channel, go through the first 10 videos in that playlist. I also have a little beginners playlist, and in the future I hope to add so much more content with your support, of course, and encouragement. But check out that playlist. But once you have, 15, 20 of those more beginner pieces down, then we can try to tackle this one. It is fast. This kid can play, and he ain't even that tall, by the way. He's not that tall. You're being dishonest. How tall are you? 5'8", maybe? Maybe tall guy? I'm okay now. Everything's fine. Timestamps are down below there, your best friends. What we do here at Mike's Music Method, by we, I mean me, is we do... Yeah, I'm funny, aren't I? We do a measure-by-measure rundown of the whole frickin' tune. I give you the free tab at mikesmusicmethod.com, so check that out. I promise I don't ramble like this all the time. I just get excited about stuff. I'm excited to bring you this song, and we do measure-by-measure. Everything's laid out. It's going to be beautiful. I tell you exactly what fingers to do. Every frickin' note in the song is covered, and then at the end, we do slow run-throughs. We also talk about singing it later, but at the very end are those slow run-throughs. Get 4 measures down, do some slow run-throughs, do another 4. Don't try to tackle this whole thing in one go. It ain't going to work that way. But I'm here. We're going to do it together. Without further ado, thank you, Caustic, for the inspiration. Love Is All by the teeny tiny, littlest man imaginable. That was almost Donald Trump, wasn't it? Teeny tiny. I went in there. There was this little guy. They call him the littlest man on earth. And when I saw him, I thought, wow, this guy, he's little. He's like the littlest man on earth. Chickaboom. We're doing close mode here. We got Capo on the 6th fret, remember. We're not doing 7. We're doing 6 like he does on some of the live ones. So let me know, comment below if you like this angle. I know you can't see my beautiful face and my free mohawk, but we're just going to do up close today, that's all. So measure 1, we've got a basic E minor chord, Capo 6th fret. The thumb pattern, he's just going back and forth between 6 and 4. That's it. And we got this really cool triplet thing happening. I love this trick. If you guys don't know this trick, you're in for a good one. So 6, 4, and then we're doing a really quick thumb on 6 again, pointer finger on 3, middle finger on 2. And that's a triplet. Then my thumb goes to 4. So it's 6, 3, 2, thumb, pointer, middle. Then it's back to the 4th string. So 1, 2, triplet, 4. And that is a big part of this song. So if you don't know that technique, practice it very slow. That might take you several weeks just to get up to speed on that. If you really want to exhaust it, check out the two of the several Leonard Cohen songs I've done. I'll link them here. One is a Stranger song, and then I believe the other one is The Partisan. I gotta give it a moment. and I'll pop that up there because Cohen does that like exhaustively throughout the entire song. And it's really cool, kind of more classical than it is Travis picking. But here we've got both because it is Travis picked with that quick triplet in there. So 6, 4, 6, 3, 2, 4. Triplet 4, thumb, thumb, triplet, thumb. Again, if that's hard, watch those videos. And one of them I talk about prepping, or planting is another word for it, where I'm not going to go into this video, but you really want those other hands to be prepped. So I will put a link in the video down below as well if you want some help with that. But moving on, 1, 2, and 3 are exactly the same. I will say a quick word on the prep just because it's so important. I'm doing 6, 4, and then I put all 3 of these down. All these fingers are already down. Thumb, pointer, middle. They're already in place. So that way I know I'm not going to screw up. I'm just making sure I'm triggering them in the right time. They're already there. And it's just thumb, pointer, middle. Fire them 1 each, but each of them are already touching the strings they're supposed to be. Measure 4 breaks it up a little bit. 6, 4, 6, 2, 4, 3. Thumb, 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 middle, thumb, pointer. Measure 5 really similar, but it's thumb, thumb, pointer. So I've got 6, 4, 3. Then the strings are 6, 2, 4, 3, 6, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. And that's thumb, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. 1, 2, and 3, and 4.
It's been scientifically proven that if you donate to Mike's music method, you will get more excellent tutorials on a wider variety of songs.
Then measure 6, we go to a couple different ways to think about it. It's still like a G chord, but we're putting the F sharp in the bass, or sometimes it's actually playing a D chord with the F sharp in the bass. Either way, it's a really cool color, and the whole point of it is to get this walking bass line. So in measure 6, we've got, I'm viewing it as a G chord, but instead of the G in the bass, we have an F sharp. So I'm doing the 2nd fret on that low E string, and my thumb's same idea. Well, it's actually a little different. We got a 3-note pattern: 6, 4, 6, 5, and we're actually going to hammer into a normal G chord though. So our thumb work, got the 2nd fret there: 6, 4, 6. Then I hit 5 open, but I hammer down on the 2nd fret like a normal G chord then. But let's do the whole measure here: 6, 4, 3. That's the beginning. Thumb, thumb, pointer. Then the 2nd half of the measure, 6, 2. And then we're hammering the 5th. And I'm doing thumb, middle, then the thumb's hammering there. 3, 4. Then it goes into the G. So that hammer on there is pretty darn quiet and you don't have to do it. Honestly, I think it's just an artifact of him going into the G chord. Like, I don't even know there's like intentional hammers and then unintentional hammers. And I think this is one of those that's like unintentional where we're just hammering on into that G chord. You like my glasses? When it's too bright, I put these bright lights on at nighttime so you guys can see it. And it's like ridiculous. So I got my nerd glasses on, okay? I'm the tallest man on earth. He doesn't wear glasses, so I don't know where I'm going with this joke. I'll figure it out by the end of this video, though, okay? I'm basically like a music scientist. I use the scientific method to make musical discoveries. It's basically what I do. Measure 7 is just a simple G chord. Thumb's just 6, 4, 6, 4. And they have 6, 4, 3. So that's thumb, thumb, pointer. 2nd half is 6, 2, 4, 3. Thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. So 3, 4, 6, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. Thumb, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. You gotta love this. We go to the classic C chord with the G in the bass. My favorite inversion of all time.
It's really like quite a discovery, this inversion. It was scientifically discovered in a laboratory, And it's when you play a C chord, but you have the G in the bass instead of the normal root note, which is a C. The G's the fifth, by the way, and it's called a second inversion triad. It's scientifically proven to make your heart beat in a harder way and increase the emotional receptivity of the song.
All right, enough of that. So it's a C chord, but we maintain the G in the bass. So I've got the third fret on that low E string. Sorry, this camera angle gives you the right hand real good, but not the left. So I'm doing third fret there, and then just like a normal C chord. So think of a normal C chord, but I'm just moving that ring finger up to the sixth string. That's it, right? You guys can all see that. Instead of that goes up there. Beautiful. So when you're doing the G, you keep that there, and you just add those two to a C chord. Beautiful. I love it. It's my favorite. Everyone uses it. Dylan, Paul Simon, Blaze Foley, John Prine, all the greats. That's it. 6, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. Same exact picking as the last measure. Thumb, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. So let's go back to that measure 6 there. 3, 4, G. Then we put it down. Measure 9 stays there. Exactly the same, except there's no and on the 4 beat, just 1, 2, and 3, and 4. That note's held a little longer. Same thing again. And 10. Then 11, we go back to a G. Here we pinch 6 and 2 at the beginning. So thumb and middle at the beginning. Then thumb on 4, pointer on 3. Pinch, 4, 3. My screensaver went on. Second half of the measure is 6, 2, 4, 3, which is thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. So that whole measure, 3, 4. Oh yeah. Now it's getting cool. Whew, it's getting cool now. Whew, that guy's so tall, the tallest man on earth. He's getting good with his guitar playing. So we start on G, and then we simply transition to the F sharp, right? G with F sharp in the bass. Because again, the whole thing is walking, right? We're walking in between chords. It sounds awesome. It gives an emotional tug to the music.
And it's scientifically proven in the laboratory that passing bass lines make your heart palpitate and you sweat a little bit more. And it's been proven that you're more likely to listen to the song again when it has passing notes in between the chords. And like I said, it's been proven scientifically in a laboratory.
So this whole measure, we got G, we're pinching 6 and 2, thumb on 4, pointer on 3. 6, 2, 4, 3, thumb middle, thumb pointer. Then I'm descending that note, doing the second fret on that low E string, and it's just 6, 2, 4, 3. So no pinch, but thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. Whole measure, 3, 4. Whoo-wee! Measure 13, we've got back to the E minor. Now here's a little interesting artifact, and I can't tell for sure if it's in there, but I think he's doing 6, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3, but that last 4 with the thumb, I'm hearing that note open. Don't sweat it if you don't want to do it open. I know it's like a small little detail. I'm sure if I were going to play it and sing it, I would probably miss that, but I'm hearing it in there. 6, 4, 3, so thumb, thumb, pointer, then the second half is thumb, middle, lift the chord, thumb, pointer. One more time, we'll do it together. 3, 4, E minor chord, lift it, thumb, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, lift it, thumb, pointer. Yeah. And then measure 14. Here, I'm calling this a D6 with an F sharp in the bass. Same idea here where he's doing open, 2, 3 to give you the cool walking bass line, but the chord is a little bit different, and this is awesome that he does this and gives it a different color. So what we need, instead of a full D chord, we really only need the second fret on the third string, as well as the second fret on the low one, of course, that F sharp. And you can do that a bunch of different ways. I'm just doing it like this. I got my middle finger on the second fret there, and then my ring finger on the second fret there. That you can also put your thumb over the top. There's all sorts of ways to finger it. I'm not going to beat you up if you do it differently. but it sounds like this. And this is cool. It's a D6 because we're not fretting that second string. So even though it's a D chord with an F sharp in the bass, right? D chord first inversion, we have that open B, which is so beautiful. And that's what creates this kind of like emo, emotional, not that this is emo, but you know what I mean. It has that like emotional quality to it. And it's because of all those extensions, right? So you have a D chord, but maybe the open B is a 6. Or if it was an open E, that'd be D, E, that'd be a 9th. I know it's a 2, but a 2 is also a 9. That's a music theory lesson. But that's what gives it that kind of like more emotional quality as opposed to just playing all these chords straight triads, no extensions, no inversions. It would sound very different and not as mournful and nostalgic.
It's been scientifically proven in a laboratory that chord extensions individuals will have more repeat encounters with the same song if there are chord extensions included in the triads. Thank you. It's peer-reviewed, by the way. Did I mention it was peer-reviewed, the study?
All right, measure 14. There we go. So we got that D shape that we just talked about, and it's 6, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4. Then we lift it and play 3 again. So thumb, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, thumb, lift the chord, pointer. And again, I'm not really telling you what the thumb's doing because it's almost always just bouncing back and forth between 6 and 4. Shikaboom, donation pitch. Guys, the value for value model. I have to encourage you. If you're this far in the video, you know that I put a ridiculous amount of time into this song. It took me hours to tab it out because I was very prideful and I was insistent that he was playing a C shape with the capo somewhere else. And I was so prideful, I wasn't going to look at anyone else's tab. I was going to do it all by myself. And I probably spent 3 hours to realize that 2 minutes and 40 seconds in the song, there's this note. And I go, that's impossible. It's freaking impossible. No one can play this. And then I watched him do it live and I went, oh, because it is impossible because he has the capo somewhere else on the guitar. But anyways, that aside, that one was my foolish fault. But what I'm getting at is I put a lot of love and care and time into this channel, and I'm probably the only idiot on the internet who has his tabs for free. For free! They're free to download. How dumb is this guy? But the whole point is it's the value for value model. I do not want anyone to, like a college kid or someone hard on luck to like, oh, this is awesome. I can learn from this guy's channel. This is great content. I love these songs that he's doing. To go, oh man, I can't afford the tab. It's $5, but I can't get into spending money on this stuff. And they get discouraged. I don't want that to happen. So it's available to everyone. All the tabs are free. But I'm asking you gentle listener out there who can afford it, value for value model, what's this channel worth to you? Is it worth $40 a month? Maybe you're getting that much value from it. $20 a month. Maybe every time you learn a song, you're giving me $10, let's say $10 as an honor system. But it's a value for value model. Keep it alive. Any donation amount counts. And what you guys are doing, honestly, is you're buying me more time to make these videos. The more money, more and more people are chipping in, I'm earning more, so I'm able to teach private lessons a little bit less and dedicate more time to this channel. And I would love to just really be able to crank these out. So please, if you guys like the channel, chip in and you get more of the channel. It's that simple. Moving on, onward. Measure 15, we got the first really awesome motif in the song. It repeats a whole bunch, so let's really focus on it and nail it. I love this part. It is quite beautiful. So what we got going on here, we got that C chord again with the G and the bass, just doing that. And we're going to do 6 alone, then I'm pinching 4 and 2 with my thumb and middle. I love this part. So 6, 4 and 2. Then we do 6 and 2, so we pinch again on beat 3. And here you'll notice in my tab, I'll see it, maybe I'll add the little whoop line, but my tab doesn't let me pull off through another note. So what I mean by that is beat 2, we're hitting that D string on the right with my thumb. That's the 2nd fret. That's still ringing. And we're pulling off. So what's interesting here in beat 3 is I'm only hitting 6 and 2. but I'm gonna pull both of those off. So they're both a pull off, even though I'm not hitting that D string again. That 2 is still ringing, a little softer, and I'm pulling off. And I would call that also like an unintentional pull off. That intentional isn't the right word. Of course it's intentional, but it's an indirect pull off. I don't know, there's a better word. We'll figure it out. There's a better word there though. So we got 6, 4, and 2. And then I'm pinching 6 and 2 again. And I'm pulling off with my pointer and my middle finger there at the same time. So I know I'm not hitting that 4th string, but I'm still pulling it off and you're still going to hear that tone. And then thumb goes to 4 there, and then pointer to 3. So after the pull off, it's thumb, pointer. So 6 and 2, thumb and middle, I pull off, thumb, pointer. So that whole measure real slow. 3, 4. Measure 16 to a G chord, 6, 2, 4, 3. So that's what it sounds like. We just got thumb, middle, 6 to 2, thumb on 4, pointer on 3. Second half of the measure, I'm putting my pinky down on the 3rd fret of the B string, and I'm pinching 6 and 2, and I pull that pinky off. And again, for you beginners out there, when I'm doing a pull off, I'm not simply like lifting it off the fretboard this way. I'm tugging down as if I were like going to shoot a bow and arrow up into the sky. And that's going to get it just to be a little, I'm not pulling down so much that it bends, but I'm tugging down so I get a little bit of that tension before I release it. Because if I just pull it straight off, right, that's real flimsy. I'm not creating any torque in the, is torque the right word? Torque, tension. But when I tug it down, I'm getting that tension and I'm releasing it so it sounds nice and loud and it pops. So that's that. 3, 4. Measure 17. Now, wow, we have a D7 with the F sharp in the bass. So not only are we doing these two that I had you do before, right? 2nd fret, 2nd fret with the ring. We're also adding the 1st finger on the B string, on the 2nd string. So it's like a D7. We're not worrying about putting the pinky down because we don't need to play this high E string. He never plays it. So I got 2, nothing, nothing, 2, 1. And it sounds like this. What I'm doing here is 6, 3, so thumb, pointer, then I'm pinching 4 and 2, thumb and middle. So this is the first time we have a quick and beat on beat right, on beat 1. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. And then we do 6 and 2, thumb and middle, and I'm pulling off my 1st finger there. Then thumb goes to the 4th, and then I do open, I lift the chord. I do open on the 3rd string. So that ending, 6 and 2, with the pull off, thumb, pointer. I lift the chord at the very end to get that open. And whenever we're lifting the chord, I always say this, it's for 2 purposes. One is to get to the next chord, right, and still have all that cool busyness and percussiveness in there. But also it creates a really awesome what you call an anticipation, right? Because that note G isn't in the D7 chord, but it's in the G chord. So you're playing it early and it just anticipates it. So it has 2 purposes and it's used all the time in fingerpick. 3, 4. And measure 18's back to a simple G. And we got that triplet again, just like in the intro. 6, 4. 6, 3, 2, 4. Remember to place them all down. Thumb, thumb, put them all down, all 3 of them. That way I'm just firing them.
It's been scientifically proven in a peer-reviewed research paper.
Because that part happens so much in the song, let's put it all together and from 15, we'll do those 4 measures. 3, 4. Pull them both off. we start singing. This is a little odd measure, measure 19. He plays this at the intro, but a lot of the other times when he's transitioning, he doesn't, and he just goes straight into measure 20. But at the intro, and maybe one other time, I'm not sure, but definitely in the intro, he does a little breathing room. He gives you another measure of G before he starts singing. And that's here, 19. Really simple. So it's just 6, 4, 3, 6, 2, 4, 3. All right. Now we start singing. Here's the verse in measure 20. We get a little breathing room, a little more sparse because he's singing. Just in E minor, 6, 4, 6, 2, 4. Thumb, 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 middle, thumb. Then we go to a G with an F sharp in the bass. That's just the 2nd fret. We got this cool little bass note in there that I love. It's not really a walk, but it kind of is because he does A, and then his next note's a G. So we have 6, 4, 3, 6, 2, 5, 6. So thumb, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle, then thumb on the 5th string open. And you can lift your hand up there just to get that open nice and clean. Then he goes to a proper G chord here in 22. And hear what I'm doing, and he does this quite a bit in the song, probably more so than I wrote it down. He'll do 6, and then he just does what I call a heavy thumb. So I'm not pinching 4 and 3 there. I'm just adding dynamic by brushing with my thumb. And you got to get good at this. I know it might feel a little tricky or awkward at first, but I'm just to have a bigger follow through. I'm really not trying to change form or anything. Just do a bigger follow through. So it's 6, heavy thumb on 4, and then 6, 2, 4, thumb, 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 middle, thumb. Yep, then he goes into 23 with that C chord with the G in the bass, so I keep that G there, but I play a C chord with the other 2. Just pretty easy. 6, 4, 6, 2, 4, 3. I'm not going to keep saying the fingers because I think you got it. Almost every time my pointer's on G, my middle is on the B string. So 6, 4, 6, 2, 4, 3. Next measure 24, we got a hammer on at the beginning. I love that, that's really cool. So it's still the same chord, but he's pinching 6 and 2 at the beginning and hammering on open to 1. Then thumb on 4. Then he puts his pinky down on the 2nd string and does the 2nd string there. So 6 and 2 with the hammer, thumb on 4, back to the middle finger on 2 with the pinky down. So our melody is that 1, 3 on the same string. Really cool. So pinch, thumb back to the middle finger. Or yeah, that works. Sorry. Then 6, 3 with the pointer. Thumb on 4, 3, 4. '25, it just keeps going. 6, 4, 6, 3, 4. 26, we have the pinky and we pinch 6 and 2. And now it's actually back to a normal G chord here in 26. It's no longer the C/G. So we put our pinky down though on a G chord. Pinky's on the 3rd fret there on the 2nd string. And we pinch 6 and 2. Thumb on 4. Then we lift the pinky and we do 2nd string again. Pinch, thumb, and 6 and 2. 4, lift the pinky, and do 2 again. Then the second half of the measure is just 6, 3, 4. So the whole thing, 3, 4. Measure 27, we got the G, and we walk it down by putting the F sharp in the bass. Just 6, 4, 3. Walk down the bass note, 6, 2, 4. 28, simple E minor, 6, heavy thumb, 6, 2, 4, 6, heavy thumb. 29, it's back to that D6 with the F sharp in the bass, so I just need the 2nd fret, that one. And it's 6, heavy thumb, 6, 2, 4. So same exact format, finger-wise as the previous measure. It says in the tab, but at the end of measure 29 there, we actually jump back to measure 15, because that's the verse, let it go, oh, oh, oh. He does does that whole thing again, and then he jumps back in with a whole nother verse after that. So 29 goes back to 15, and then he sings another stanza. You guys are cruising along. We'll talk about singing it later because I know it's easy to get lost in all this stuff. But for this part of the tutorial, just measure by measure, we're going to learn it all. But remember, timestamps are down below. Learn 4 to 8 measures, and then feel free to jump ahead. Maybe you want to sing that part, get your bearings on where you are in the tune. The video and the timestamps are there for you to use. You know, you're at your own skill level, so use the timestamps wisely. So 30 is basically that measure 15 to 18 part again with, you know, a tiny little difference here. So you'll see this is all the same starting in 30 as 15 was. Here it's a little bit different because we have that triplet part in 33, but it's 6, 4, triplet, heavy thumb. Pretty aggressive with it there, and then he does another heavy thumb in the beginning of 34. So I know we're not really fretting. It's a C chord with the G in the bass, so I know we're not really playing anything on the 5th string. I'm letting my ring finger, you know, be lax, and so it's gently touching that so it doesn't sound open A. There's times when you want it really precise to get that string to ring, and other times when you're allowed to be lazy. And it's nice when you have one of those moments, and this is one of them because you don't have to be as exact. But because that allows me to strum, and the chord sounds beautiful. I'm not hitting that open A, which doesn't belong in the chord. So he's doing a heavy thumb on beat 1 here. And it goes as normal then. And that might feel a little awkward because you got a heavy thumb. Then I'm doing a pinch on 4 and 2. But otherwise it's the same. It changes here. So let's do this. In measure 36, we have the D6 chord. Maybe I'll remember to fix it. It says D7 right now to me, but maybe I'll fix it. And then we got it's a D6 chord, thumb, heavy thumb. So 6, heavy thumb, 6, 2, 4. So I got that open B string, D6. Seen that before, but now check this out. He puts his pinky down on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. This cool little melody. So pinching 6 and 2 with the pinky down here in measure 37. Then thumbs on 4. Then I lift that pinky and play that note again. So pinch, thumb, lift it. And then 6, heavy thumb to end the measure. So the whole thing, 3, 4. 38, we're on that same kind of movement idea. Right, same idea, he's playing with it. So we got 6, 2, 4. And then we're pinching 6 and 2, but the pinky goes down again. And the thumb's alone. So 6, 2, 4, put the pinky down, pinch 6 and 2, and thumbs on 4. Now, I know I'm doing all this stuff with my middle finger, but honestly, I don't know. In the context of me playing the song, I might just out of habit go back to the pointer finger. That's totally fine. It might even be the preferred method. When you end up playing a lot of melody notes on the same string, it makes sense to just use your dominant finger. So in retrospect, if you were using your pointer and I kept saying middle and you were then using your middle, I apologize, because it is probably better to just use your pointer when it's a whole bunch of melody notes on the same string. Just shift your pointer finger down a string so you're using your dominant finger. Totally acceptable. Again, probably even preferred. So let's do 37 and 38 together because it's strung together. 3, 4. 39 is also part of this whole little sequence here. We pinch 6 and 2 again, pinky still down, thumb alone on 4, then we lift the pinky and play the 2nd string. Back to 6, heavy thumb. So 39 is exactly the same as 37 was. And then finally we get out of that little sequence. So cool, to the G. And it's 6, heavy thumb, on 4, here, we just get a little color on the G in 41. We're pulling off just first finger on the B string. Pinching both of those, 6 and 2, pulling off. Then it's 4, 3, 6, 4. Measure 42. So that whole part, I know I'm not posting the lyrics up here, but if you download the free tab, holy cow, what a guy, free tab at mikesmusicmethod.com, you'll see where we're at. We're just getting to that part where he's going, oh, I said I could rise, ba-da-bum-bum. So we're there. And 42 is where we are at. We have a C chord, normal C this time. I lied, it's not a normal C. It's a C. sus2. So our middle finger is actually lifted, right? It's a C chord, but we don't need our middle finger. And we got 5, 4, 2. Sorry, I just put my middle finger down out of habit. 5, 4, 2. So thumb, thumb, middle. Then I'm putting a B in the bass. And again, you can call this a G/B or a C/B. I don't really know. However you want to define it, and we're doing 5, 3, 4. So that measure is 5, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4. And we have just a C sus2, no middle finger. Then I put my second middle finger down on the second fret of the A string. So it's like a G chord, but a B in the bass. That's how I'm thinking about it. And I'm letting that first one ring. So again, maybe it's a C/B, because there is that C still ringing out. Then we got A minor in 43. Here I'm doing 5, then heavy thumb on 4. Then 5, 2, 4. Thumb, heavy thumb, middle thumb. In 44 and 45, we won't talk about it. It's just exactly the same as 36 and 7. There we go. Measure 46, we're back to the A minor with a cool little hammer on. Cool little melody work. Playing 5 low, pinching 4 and 2, and hammering my first finger on the first fret. So thumb on 5, pinching and hammering. Back to the thumb on 5. Then I'm putting my pinky down, 3rd fret, 2nd string again, right? He likes that note. And then doing 4, 3 at the end. So the ending is 5, 2, 4, 3, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer. So at the beginning, 3, 4. Really similar, except he ends that the beat 4 isn't 2 notes, it's just 1, and he lifts the chord there just to get to that next chord. And again, it's an anticipation. It's a D, and the D chord is coming. 36 we've seen before, but here he stops. He just hits the 2 and the 3 there on the E and the B string, and he just sings. And then what's weird here, 49, the first time he does that, he just absolute hard stop. But every other time he sings this chorus, he doesn't do that. He hits it, but then his thumb keeps going, which I wrote down in measure 50. So you never play both 49 and 50, right? I have that marked in the tab. Either you're playing measure 49 or you're playing 50. First time he does 49, all of the run-throughs, he does 50. After that measure 49, whoop, we jump all the way back up to measure 15. Run the whole entire thing again, the double verse and the chorus, except instead of doing that 15, we do what I just said, where he's actually playing through that measure 15. Cool, let's do this longer extended instrumental part, but it's going to be a lot of repeat material, guys. You basically got this whole song with few exception here. So let's jump to measure 51. We're jumping to measure 51. This is all repeat, nothing new here. 57, I think might be a little different. Is it more sparse? I'm not sure. No, we've seen that before. And here's a new material in 58. Really cool. So he's doing open on the 6th string. Then we've got this double stop. I don't know if he's sliding 2 frets or 1, but the idea is we're ending up on 3 with my pointer finger and 4 with my middle. And I'm doing the 1st string and then the the G string, the 3rd string. So I got those 2 notes and he's sliding. Again, you can slide up 1 fret or 2. It's so fast that it's pretty hard to tell, but he's got the 6th string, then he's sliding that up. Then he's doing 3 and 4 on the 2nd string and the 3rd fret on the 2nd, 4th fret on the 3rd. So then we just hit open on the 3rd. So that whole measure, 3, 4. It's a cool little, I don't know why I thought to put that in there. I really like it. Really goofy. So let's lead into it from 57. 3, 4.
Papers can be reviewed by peers. That's the people who are also smart like me, and they review the paper, and it proves, therefore, its accuracy, its factuality, objectively.
59 we've seen before. Just that pull off A minor. This is new though in 60. And this one was really tripping me up. I almost swear that note is a pull off. And man, if I could talk to the tallest man on earth, that would be my question here for you, tall guy. You're not that tall. I got 2 questions for you, actually. You're not that tall, okay? I'm pretty sure I can scientifically prove it in the laboratory that you're not that tall. No, but I would love to know if he's pulling this note off or not. So 2 ways we could do it. Let's take a look at 60. This is how I have it because it makes more sense. But it's tricky. So it's a big old G chord. We are doing 6, 2, 4, 3, which seems simple enough. But then we're pinching 6 and 1, followed by the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. So there you got to shift your fingers, because this is easy enough. 6, 2, 4, 3. We've seen that bunch. But I would pivot my middle finger here to 6, 1, so that my pointer can then hit the 2nd string with the 3rd fret down. Then open on the 4th, and then lift the pinky, open on the 2nd. So that ending of that, the 2nd half of the measure, pinching 6 and 2 with thumb and middle. My pointer finger does the 2nd string, pinky's down. Thumb on 4, pointer does the 2nd again, but I lift the pinky. So the whole measure, 3, 4. But what I'm hearing is like a pull off. I don't know if he's doing that, but if you want to, I'm putting I'm using my thumb over the top to do the G like that. Then my pull off is 5-3. Instead of open 3, I'm doing 5-3. So everything else is the same, but instead of open 3, I have 5-3 on the 2nd string. Whatever's easier for you. I don't know what he's doing. I'll have to watch him live and see if at that exact moment they're showing his left hand. And then it keeps going, 61. And then in 66, he breathes a little bit before going back to the verse. It's just 6, 3, 4, 6, 3, 4. Brr, blasted measure 37. I finally got it. It was tripping me up. I had to re-listen because it's goofy. But I got it. So we got the C/G chord, 6, 3, 4, 2. That's simple enough. We've seen that a bunch. But then we go back to 6, and he pulls off. He doesn't actually hit that 2nd string there. It's just 6, 3, 4, 2, 6, pull off, 4. So again, on that pull off, not doing my right hand, not doing anything with my right hand. 6, 3, 4. the second half of the measure is this. It's just thumb, pull off thumb, thumb, pull off thumb. And you gotta get precise timing when it's really quick. It's hard. 6, 3, 4, 2, 6, pull thumb. Really awesome. And then next measure here, 68 is just 6, 3, 4, 6, 3, 4, 69, 6, 4, 6, 2, 4, 3. Then, pew, all the way back again for another verse, another chorus, and you did the whole song. Little note on the tab that's free to download at mikesmusicmethod.com. Measure 71, stand up on so still. That little part where he does a little stutter and slows it down. He just hits a G. That's it. Just that 6-string low note. And then the ending, guys, I didn't really write out. He's just looping these last several measures. So basically he's going, I'll tell you what he's doing. He's taking it from measure 51, but he never does that weird, right? He never does that slide on 58 part. He's just doing a normal G there. So replace measure 58 with a normal G chord, and the ending is him just looping that instrumental part. Holy cow. What an adventure. Give me a handshake. You made it. You did it. Congratulate yourself. Play it for a loved one, preferably of the opposite gender, and they'll fall madly in love with you. Oh, it'll be beautiful. I know that was a lot of information, guys, so let's get to slowly piecing together the song with the vocals. Now, the way I do this, and I highly encourage you to do this as well, is to get just the lyrics in a chord chart. Maybe I will even provide that. I'm undecided yet while I record this, but maybe I will do that. If so, you'll see it here, and it'll be linked down below. But that's super important. Don't do too many things at once. Let your brain focus on the singing. So if we take it from the top of the verse, in the tab, this would be 20, but just look at the chord chart. Forget the tab. Never mind, I didn't say that. It starts on an E minor, and we just have the chord chart. Well, I walk upon the river like it's easier than land. Evil's in my pocket, and your will is in my hand. Oh, your will is in my hand. So that's the verse. I'm just generically doing the chords to make sure all the timing is good, nice and slow. Then maybe I'd speed it up a little bit. Well, I walk upon the water like it's easier than land. Evil's in my pocket, and your will is in my hand. Oh, your will is in my hand. Then eventually I would just add the thumb part and sing it with that. Sorry, E minor. Well, I walk upon the river like it's easier than land. Evil's in my pocket, and your will is in my hand. Oh, your will is in my hand. Then after that, I would do like a really basic picking pattern. I wouldn't say basic, but one that repeats, right? A repetitive pattern. So it could be like 6, 3, 4, 2. I'm not doing any of the pull-offs, but I still have a fast-paced right hand. So let's go from here. Well, I'll walk upon the water, the river, like it's easier than land. Evil's in my pocket, and your will is in my hand. Oh, your will is in my hand. That way your brain and your fingers, everything's working together. You're building up slowly to get to the complicated actual playing. And from there, I don't have great pointers except to go ridiculously slow and get that microscope out and do it measure by measure. Well, I walk upon the water, river, like it's easier than land. Evil's in my pocket, and your will is in my hand. Oh, your will is in my head. So I was able to execute it that slow. But sometimes you're going to stumble, you're going to have to go slower, and there's moments where you're really just going to, like, well, I walk upon the river like it's easier than land. Just be really physical, and if you have to, even write in some of the words if it's on an unexpected beat, on an upbeat instead of a down, write all that stuff in. Let's do the chorus. I'm not going to scream this part because, man, this guy shouts at this part, hits you with that emotional uppercut. Whew. All right, so again, same idea. I would just sing it slow from that D7. Oh, I said I could rise from the harness of our ghosts. Here come the tears. But like always, I let them go. Get the idea. I kind of butchered it there. I need to practice it too, especially because he shouts it. I would move the capo, and I forgot to mention that. Always move the capo. You don't sing like this guy. You don't sing like Paul McCartney. You don't sing like Townes Van Zandt. You, thank God, sing just like you, and that's what you were meant to do. So find out what your range is. Lower this thing. For sure, most people are going to want to lower this thing. He even lowered it live because he realized, man, I was belting it in the studio, and I don't want to do that night after night live, so I'm going to lower this thing a little bit. You should do that too. Those are my singing tips. Let's do the slow run-throughs. Boom! Slow run-throughs. We're going to do measure 1 through 18 and then repeat 15 through 18. So the intro. 2, 3, 4... The verse. So let's take it from measure 20 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here now, measure 40. 1, 2, 3, 4. take it from 50. So the last time we do the chorus, he doesn't do 49, but he does 50. And then we'll keep going with that funky stop part in 58. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And the scientific method is an important method, and continue. Let's donate to Mike's music method. It's scientifically proven to raise morale in Mike's basement. Mike's morale will be improved. We did the study twice, and it's been proven, and both studies have been peer-reviewed. I chose the peers, by the way. They're my peers.